More and more and more. We don't know where we're going to. More and more and more. We don't know what we're gonna do. Good morning. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I was thinking about a topic to talk about, and I thought about something I said on Facebook. It's about boundaries and toxic people and letting people into your space, and you can't block everybody out. What I said, it's good to have boundaries, but nobody should try to be an island. And it's funny because it feels like I'm that island. I am like cut off everybody. It feels strange being cut off, having to cut out people that you've known for long periods of time that you want to reconnect with, you want to be around because there was some good times and you missed that and you feel like you can get it back, but you can't because you're two totally different people now. Totally different. They're toxic and you can't be around them. And yeah, I haven't told them that either. I haven't said, hey, look, you're toxic. I can't be around you. You're bad for me. You don't help me. You don't do anything for me. I haven't said that. I don't know if they know that. I don't know if they realize that. But they're doing toxic things and I can't have it in my life. I can't be around people that bring problems in my life. Oh, the sun is coming out and it's shining right in my face. Block it up. Come on. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there we go. That's better. But these people, man, these toxic people, bro. Looking back, it's, over the years, kind of older now. I'm like 46. Might not look it, but I'm 46 now. I've been around the block a few times, and there were periods where I cut people out of my life, and I did good for a while. I did good for 6 months to a year, cut everybody out, and I did my thing. And granted, I still had some problems. I still had my own issues and my own things, but it seems like the times I did my best was when I cut everybody out and I focused on what I had to do. I just did it. I stopped trying to people please and be around people and help people. As it seemed like the more I did that, the more problems I had too. The more harder it was to get what I want. I was trying to help everybody else get what they want, but that never helped me at all. Matter of fact, it got me farther from what I wanted. And for a long time, I didn't realize what I wanted. I was chasing after highs and petty stuff. I still chase after petty stuff. I still chase after a lot of petty stuff. But I keep it, I try to keep it manageable. I try to keep it manageable. That's a big thing. That's a big thing about it. You need to keep your vices manageable because your vices will consume you, I think. Like being an alcoholic or a drug addict, over time it consumes you and it becomes your whole life. It becomes everything. Your whole life revolves around it. You can't put it down. Your whole life becomes about it, you know. So that's when things become bad for you because your whole life revolves around it. But yeah, when I was on drugs, I seen that. I was like, oh man, you know, every day would be the same thing. You would go hang down the street and try to get some money, or you would go to try to see a friend to help you score some stuff somehow by doing a favor for some people. But every day you would be in the same place trying to get high, the same people, and feeling the same way and stressed out and tired and all this to do the same thing every day. And one day it can turn into the rest of your life, you know, until you OD or something crazy happens, maybe, or until you go to jail or prison. So that one day, you know, you just do it repetitively, you know. And so I seen that. I was living that one day over and over, and I was like, this one day can turn into my whole life. I didn't want that. I didn't want to be that's my whole life, you know, chasing after dope and being in the hood around the low lifes and hood rats, and nothing good comes out of that. You know, you look at it and you're like, well, nothing's good gonna happen here. And I couldn't see it for a long time. I was just running around thinking, oh yeah, it's cool, it's fun. But it wasn't that cool. It wasn't that fun. So I ended up going to rehab and trying to get help and cutting everybody out. And then I had to come back and reconnect with people and you can see how different you are and how bad it was to be around these people. And you still have to manage it. Like, you have to be around these people until you can leave. So I stayed around them for like another year or two. And I cut out other people totally. Like, I only stayed around a couple of people that I had to be around. But I cut out like people totally, like just changed my number, blocked them on Facebook, and they couldn't get a hold of me. Like, they didn't know where I was. And it's kind of good to do that because you can kind of see if people will find you and know where you're at, and if they really want to find you or to call you. And it's good to cut them out because they're not doing anything good for you. So I questioned all my friends and all the people I knew and asked myself, dude, how much value do these people really bring to my life? And when I thought about it, none of them brought any value to my life. Nobody brought any value to my life. And I thought of these people like friends, but they weren't really friends. They were just people in my life. Because a friend would bring value to your life, right? You would think about that. You would assume a friend would help you. A friend would help you get things. A friend would help you get to a better place. But I think drug addicts, they don't care about any of that stuff. They care about drugs. That's it. They're gonna manipulate and do anything they can just to get drugs and just to get whatever they want. They don't care about the bigger picture. So they're probably different people off drugs, but a drug addict is like a thing. It's not a person. It's a person that's lost all sensibility and reason and morals and honesty and lost all of that, bro. So it's like I feel like you can cut all them out and you can see everything for what it is when you get sober. And then if they get sober, then you might be able to deal with them again because they might bring value to your life. But if they're not bringing anything good to your life, if they're not making you happier, then what's the point of having people in your life? And so, cut everybody out. And then I eventually, well, I had those last couple of people that I were questioning. That I was really close to, but they were toxic. And I had to have them in my life. I started realizing they were bad, and so it became worse too being around them. So I cut them out. I cut everybody out, and then I started doing my thing. And then for a couple of years, nobody was allowed in. Nobody's still allowed in. Nobody. It's been like 4 or 5 years, and nobody is still allowed in unless they bring value to my life. They're not allowed. They're not welcome. You shouldn't be welcoming to anybody that doesn't bring value to your life. You should question people's motives because everybody has an ulterior motive. I didn't realize that. A lot of people put up this facade and this act and make you believe they're cool and all this and stuff, and it's an act. That's just what it is. People act and you don't want to believe it, but they have ulterior motives and dark intentions, bad intentions for you sometimes, and they just put on a facade, but they have bad intentions and lead you right to destruction, lead you right to your destruction because they don't like you. Bam. So I got tired of that. I got tired of the games and the things people trying to do to me, sabotage me, despite me. They didn't like me for whatever reason, but you have to navigate through the world like that, through people, and it's funny. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at seeing the psychological games people play. I'm not good at navigating the politics and the power struggle in life to manipulate people. I'm not good at that at all. I'm good at cutting everybody out and doing my thing. So I think that's what's helped me the most. Like focusing on what I need to do and doing it. It's helped me catapult ahead. It's helped me make tons of progress. Even though I'm still struggling, I've made a ton of progress. And people, I think, can see it, and people are starting to notice. Even though I'm older in life, I think people look at it like kind of inspirational, and I would like to think that people look at me like, well, he actually changed. He did something with his life, Even though it hasn't been super great, but that's how life is. It changes little by little over time. And I dug a hole so deep that it's just been slow to get out. It's taken like 5 years to try to get to somewhere decent. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was. I was super down low, like rock bottom low, like real in a really bad place. So, but I've seen a couple people since I've come back to the place where I used to live at, in the city the city I stay, after going all over the country, um, truck driving, being gone for 6 months, hasn't these people haven't changed. They're still doing the same things and the same toxic behavior. So I just seen another guy I used to know, and he's over hanging out. I'm sure he's doing drugs, and I can't talk to him. I can't deal with them. I can't interact with them because they're no good for me. They've never been any good for me. You're gonna find very few people that are good for you, that are gonna help you. Very few. I think I found a couple, maybe one or two, maybe on one hand that I can say have helped me when I needed help, when I was down and out, and I was looking very bad. These people helped me out big time. Helped save me. Helped me out and brought value to my life. That's what counts. So make sure you filter those people out and realize that it's only going to be a few people out of all the tons of people you run into. There's only going to be a few people that are probably going to help you out and that you might want to keep in your life. So create that boundary in that conception in your mind that you're gonna meet tons of people, but a lot of them won't have your best interest in mind. A lot of them won't bring value to your life. So that's why it's good to have boundaries. Like, they can't have your number, they can't know where you live. You're not gonna call them, you're not gonna see them. You don't want to see them. And make sure you also know there's some people that'll try to pry into your life and manipulate you to get you to do things for them. And maybe try to sabotage you, despite you, just because they don't like you for some petty reason. Because people are petty and people might have bad intentions. So be mindful. Be mindful of that, and watch out for people. Move strategically, because people are conniving, and you have to be careful. So I haven't interacted with anybody. I'm back in my city, and I haven't interacted with anybody. I've talked to a couple people. That's it. But when you think about it, really, what do you need? Do you really need to talk to these people? Do you really need to interact with them? What relationships do you really need to have in life to have a healthy life? You need maybe your spouse or a girlfriend and a couple friends, maybe. So keep that in mind too. But boundaries, make sure you aren't cut off too much from people too. You can go full hermit mode and be cut off from everybody in society, and it's not good for you, because nobody can help you if you're just totally cut off. And I'm kind of in that. I'm almost in that space. I'm around tons of people, but I'm cut off from tons of people. I'm just trying to keep my space. I'm trying to keep my space healthy and balanced, and balanced and sorry, somebody was driving by. But I'm in that space where I'm disconnected from everybody, but I don't need a lot of people. I don't need a lot of things. I don't need a lot of people. just actually enjoy being alone, which sounds weird. Because you think about it, you think you have to be around people to feel good. Granted, being with people, certain people can help you feel good, but they say you can also feel good by yourself. So I'm trying to embrace that idea. Like, if I could be happy alone, I could be happy with somebody else, And I'm just focused on finding a girl, maybe a girlfriend or a woman to be with, maybe in a healthy relationship. Because we need that. We need the intimacy of other people. I think that's what I've been lacking, and that's why I'm struggling now too. That's another thing that's kept me. I think it's kept me emotionally like frustrated and depressed in a way. Becoming aware of that has been hard. My emotions, I don't understand. I don't understand feelings and emotions. I think a lot of people don't understand it. And that's why they do certain things and they don't understand why they do these things. So, embracing your emotions and understanding your feelings and where you're really coming from and what you really need will help you understand what to do about it, questioning it. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I sad? Why am I depressed? I think I'm kind of frustrated and depressed because I'm not in a healthy relationship. I'm not with a girl, and I'm not building a family or something like that. And that's why people push it on other people, because they feel like that's probably the pinnacle of life, is having a wife and a kid and a family, to have that emotional, how would you say, emotional interaction and relationship, having relationships and but a familiar one, a familial one, maybe. Like one, I think people say that's what the meaning of life is, having a family. And it could be right. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't really think it was good, but it could be good. I just didn't think I could have all that, because it was too much to have, because I've seen people struggling with it so much, It seems like a lot to have, but if you get into the right relationship and and you have the good income and the right, in the right environment, it could be great, probably. So, I think that's what I'm striving for, to get into that place where I can have a happy relationship with a woman and maybe build a family. But that's the concept I think people push on other people, and people don't realize they're struggling more than ever, and they try to get all those things, and they're not good for each other. So it looks bad for some people, but it could be great. So it's interesting. I haven't ever really tried to get it, because I've been struggling so much with my own problems. I'd have to get into that place to get that type of stuff. So anyway, I'm in kind of like Island Hermit mode almost. That's what it feels like. I don't want to be too extreme about it. I've been in a cut off space, but I think it's been good for me. You need to have that. You need to be in that space where you can grow and develop your life and your goals and work on them. You have to be in that space to be able to become great, in order to attract the abundance and the love you need, probably, and the kind of person you need to be. You got to become like that type of person. You can only attract this type of person if you're that type of person. So I have a lot of insecurities, but being cut off from everybody is kind of good. They say it's bad, but it could be good for you for a long time. It's not. 'Cause you could be cut off from the bad people, but I think they mean you can't be cut off from the good opportunities too, because you're scared of the bad people. So it's hard to open up to find the good people because you've already been hurt. You don't want to open up again because you're scared. So how are you gonna find another good person in your life? Or there's somebody that brings value if you're trying to block out everybody. So I'm in that space right now. I'm looking for the good people for me, and I'm trying to filter them out. And I'm thinking that's gonna happen automatically because I know what's good for me. I know what I want, even when I don't. It just happens. It's gonna happen naturally. But I've been rambling on. It's 26 minutes in, but I want to close out now by saying that you can have boundaries. It's good. You can be closed off and you can feel like an island, but you need to do what's best for you and get people that add value to your life, and that's it. Don't be too closed off, but be careful of the people that you add to your life. So that's gonna do it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.